What is going on, guys? BCD here, coming back with another video. Basically, this one is my top 5 Switch exclusive games. Um, I wanted to go over this list because one, they had enough exclusives, and two, I felt like you really need to be in chronological order on what I preferred and my top game versus the bottom game. This is my top 5. These are all great games, but it's going to be in the order in which I enjoyed the most. So, without further ado, let's just get right into that. So, starting off at number 5, I'm gonna have to go with Arms. Arms is the competitive fighting game. It's a 3D fighting with when you know movement and spacing comes into play. I'm sorry, couldn't get the words out. But basically, I enjoyed this game a lot just because of the mechanics and how you fought. And it wasn't a game that people took really advantage of completely, because it was a game that could have really been something great. It had a meta. It had, unique play styles. I didn't fight the same person spamming the same thing when I was online playing competitive. I guess it really just didn't have the footing that it should have when it first launched. It should have had a little bit more features and benefits, things like that, so people would actually want to play it rather than just the hard, dedicated people. So that's why I feel like it fell off. But definitely production in Arms and the fighting and everything is top notch. So that's why I really give it that number 5 spot. So I really felt that if it was a great game. Going to number 4. So number 4 on my list will have to go to Splatoon 2. I gave that to Splatoon 2 because I felt as if Splatoon 2 really had a really good start. It really had a great start. It was like really fun. It had the modes. Until it really started to sink in exactly what they were doing, that's when I started not to enjoy playing it. But when they were supposed to add the features for, voice chat, me to get easy to get in with friends and play, I really was disappointed with them not doing so quick enough for me. But the support for just the game itself, like putting in maps, putting in new weapons weekly, something new to utilize, tournaments, and stuff like that. That really does keep that game's longevity very far from where I'm standing right now. So as long as they get those other parts added to it, that game will be around for a long time. And that's why I gave it the number 4 spot. Going to number 3, it was a little tough, okay? But I decided to put Super Mario Odyssey at number 3. I chose to put Super Mario Odyssey at number 3 is because I'm not sure if you guys know what the other 2 games are above it, but Super Mario Odyssey really was a great game. All these games are great, so don't get me wrong. These are not like no 8s or nothing to me. These are all like 9 and above games for me. But Super Mario Odyssey, I decided to give it the number 3 spot because I really enjoyed pretty much all aspects of it, especially the just finding stuff. It was so crazy how you miss so much stuff. Go back to a planet, it's like 50-60 more moons there. It's just crazy how they hid that stuff, how they make you want to go back and explore and explore and explore. And the challenges, like the harder the more moons you get, the harder it is to get them. So I really enjoyed Super Mario Odyssey because it was just like back to that old school platformer, man. It was just really fun. I really enjoyed it. I used to play it all the time with my fiance. It's just basically she'd be Cappy, I'd be Mario, and we'd just go at it. But it was just a really good game, a really good moment, and I really enjoy how Nintendo, creates those moments for us. So I really wanted to put that higher, but I couldn't. But Super Mario Odyssey is a great game. Coming in at number 2 is going to have to go to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's at number 2 because I chose to put it at number 2 because I really enjoyed Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda was one of those games where I could play it endlessly, and I was really the reason why I got number 2 because I was kind of disappointed in the DLC because I really wanted them to expand a little bit more, but they really didn't. But it was okay because the story was fine, the gameplay was fine. That was the only thing I was like, come on, y'all could have did a little bit more, but I understand that game is going to be epic. They got another one in the works, I'm pretty sure. That game is too big, too good. All these games probably got something else in the works, but I gave Legend of Zelda over Super Mario Odyssey because of how much I enjoyed the RPG elements, how much I enjoyed the freedom to just run around and do what you wanted. And it was just so interesting on, discovering things that you didn't know you could do in that game. It was just very interesting. It was very unique. They made it fun to explore. They made it fun to walk around. I'm not talking about just gliding and walk around, be on your horse, explore world in a new way. They just really made that game great, and I'm glad they made that. I'm glad it came when it came. March 3rd wasn't that dry. I had other games to play, but it really was. Like, everybody's putting up the, comparisons of Horizon and this. It just really was a good game to play at the time, and Legend of Zelda really captivated me for a minute. But yeah, that's why I gave it the number 2 spot. Now, for my number 1 spot for my Nintendo games, I'm going to have to go with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Not because it was better than these other games. Not because it was production. It was like, on paper, if I look at it, Xenoblade versus Legend of Zelda, Xenoblade has a very rocky start. The frame rate, the graphics, everything is bad for it. And yet I enjoy that game the most. The reason I enjoyed that game the most, because it's the most captivating story probably I played in a minute. It makes me continue to want to play. It makes me the RPG elements are very interesting. It's not it's not easy. That's another thing that I really enjoy about it, especially if you don't want it to be easy. So if you never level up or something like that, that game is really, really fun. And just going around helping people, just going around doing missions, it's really enjoyable. And that's why it got number 1 for me. And one huge thing that I really enjoy in all my games that really pushed it to number 1 is that everybody talks. Not Mario and Link don't talk, but I enjoy when characters talk. I invest in characters. Link and Mario, I can somewhat invest with them, but Mario always going out to save Peach, that is his thing. Link always going out to save Zelda, that's their thing. Xenoblade has a fresh start. It always can tell a new story, and that's why I really enjoyed it. That's why it captivated me more, and that's why I gave it number 1. Not saying that it's the best looking game, so don't get me wrong. Not saying that that game is mechanically better than Zelda or mechanically better than Super Mario, because at the end of the day, these are all 9s in my book. I just enjoyed Xenoblade the most, and that is my number 1, and I'm sticking with it. But thank you guys for watching. If you like this commentary, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you got any different opinion, which I'm pretty sure most of you do, leave that down in the comment section below. I'll read it. I'll go over it. I will soak it all in. But thanks for watching, and as always, peace.